controversy in Washington over Soviet Russia's military presence in Cuba brings an unprecedented revelation of U.S. intelligence procedures. The Secretary of Defense, Robert S. McNamara, opens the press conference by telling the nation he believes, beyond reasonable doubt, that all offensive weapons have been removed from Cuba and none has been returned. His remarks are the preliminary to a detailed account by Pentagon intelligence expert John Hughes of the Soviet buildup in Cuba prior to the crisis and of the removal since October. He presents maps, photographs, and charts in support of the administration claim that there has been no substantial military buildup in Cuba since Khrushchev decided to pull offensive weapons out of the island. This photograph of a medium-range ballistic missile site was made when construction of facilities was still proceeding late in October. A recent photograph shows that the base destroyed under U.S. pressure still is dismantled and displays no signs of military activity. But the uproar continues. Senator Kenneth B. Keating, who has protested for months that the administration underestimates Soviet military power in Cuba, has this to say following the Defense Department report.
Stand on my statement that there's 10 times as much military equipment there now, and in addition to this, the Soviet troops are digging in. These combat troops are building semi-permanent or permanent barracks, and this is a part of my statement that they're at least 10 times stronger. It's patently absurd, it seems to me, to believe the Russians and other communists are in Cuba because they're on the defensive, that they've established a firm military base and are digging into it to defend the Cuban people, and that they don't intend and are not now using this base to get operators, equipment, and propaganda into Latin America.
The same day, at his news conference, President Kennedy adds his own assurances to those of other key administration officials that it is their judgment, based on the best intelligence they can get, that there are not offensive weapons in Cuba. He mingles words of caution with words of concern.
We cannot base the issue of war and peace on a rumor or report, which is not substantiated, or which some member of Congress refuses to tell us where he heard it. This issue involves very definitely war and peace, and when you talk about the presence of offensive weapons there, if they are there, I think the Soviet Union is aware, and Cuba is aware, that we would be back where we were in October, but in a far more concentrated way. And after our experience last fall, we operate on the assumption, while hoping for the best, we expect the worst. It's very possible that the worst will come, and we should prepare for it. That's why we continue our daily surveillance. It's possible, conceivable. We cannot prove that there is not a missile in a cave, or the Soviet Union isn't going to ship next week. We prepare for that. But we will find them when they do, and when they do, the Soviet Union and Cuba and the United States must all be aware that this will produce the greatest crisis which the world has faced in its history.